Today we're breaking down one of the easiest and most consistent ways to make profit with matched betting, Price Boosts and Arbs. If you've finished your signups or even if you're halfway through them, these are one of the best ways to build consistent profits on a daily basis. The best part is there's no free bets involved and you can make profit instantly. Let's get into how it works. So what are price boosts? Price boosts are when a bookmaker purposefully boosts something to be higher than fair value. So let's say both teams to score in one match is normally 2.0, that's fair value, odds are 2.0. But the bookmaker boosts it to 2.5. Now to normal gamblers that's just a nice offer, but to matched bettors that's guaranteed or risk-free profit. This is because anytime the back odds on a bookmaker, for example Bet365, are higher than the lay odds on an exchange, for example Smarkets where we lay things, then that's when we can make risk-free profit. There's all kinds of boosts out there. There's boosts on individual things, there's boosts on bet builders, there's loads for us to take advantage of. So boosts are when a bookmaker purposefully boosts something, but Arbs are slightly different. Arbs are just when the back odds are higher than the late odds, but the bookmaker hasn't purposefully boosted it. The back odds are still higher than the late odds on the exchange, so we can still make profit, but it doesn't come without risk with Arbs. If you're a beginner, I would just avoid Arbs because they can get your account restricted extremely quick, much quicker than price boosts. Price boosts aren't exactly perfect, but they're a lot better than Arbs. So if you're a beginner and you don't really know the nuances of certain things, I'll just say stay away from Arbs to start with. This is just because bookies aren't stupid and they can see if something is above fair odds and loads of people have put it on at one time. They just know people are matched betting and they've tried to find value on an Arb. If you have more experience, then maybe you can use Arbs on like bigger games and you know which ones might be alright, but to start with, probably not. So let's go back to price boosts and I'll show you an example of a price boost and how we put them on. So I'm over in the MatchedWise premium group in the price boost alert section, and let me show you an example. So let's just go for this bottom one. Sky Bet, John Bond to win the 14.55 Cheltenham today, 2.5/1.97 SM. So if you've never done any matched betting, you're probably slightly confused as to what that means, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to understand. The first number is always going to be our back odds on our bookie side. In this case, it's Sky Bet. Then after the slash, the number is going to be our lay odds. And then SM just means Smarkets, it's our exchange. Sometimes you'll see things like BD for BetDAC or BF for Betfair Exchange. These are all just exchanges. But the one you'll see most often is SM for Smarkets, which is the exchange where we lay things. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to place this price boost and to work out how much profit we're going to be able to make from it. So first of all, it's good to check that everything is still there. So the backside on Sky Bet, the boost is still there. And we also need to check the lay odds on Smarkets because they might have changed a bit since the boost was posted. So first of all, I've checked on Sky Bet and the boost is there. I've checked the max, it is maximum £10. Often it will say on the alert in the group, but sometimes it doesn't, and you can just put in the stake and test for yourself. The max here is £10. A lot of these high value big boosts like super boosts, they do tend to be lower maxes like £10 or £20, but that's not the case for all boosts. Some boosts can be into the maximum of like thousands, so don't worry about that. Now I need to head over to Smarkets and check the late odds. So I'm on Smarkets now and I need to find the race. So the 14.55 Cheltenham, there it is. And the late odds have actually increased. So they're now 2.12. They were around 2 when the alert was posted. Late odds are moving all day. Sometimes you'll find the late odds drop closer to the race event or when the football game starts or whatever, but that isn't always the case. For horses, I generally would try and wait for closer to the race because I find often the lay does drop. It's not a guarantee, so don't hold me to it, but just for the sake of this video, I'll try and put this on now. So the late odds are 2.14. They're sort of between 2.1 and 2.14 at the moment. So we now need to head over to our match betting calculator to work out our lay stake, to work out exactly what's going to happen with this. So I'm over on the MatchedWise match betting calculator. The qualifying bet setting is correct because there's no free bets involved here, so leave it on qualifying bet. I'll leave it on standard lay strategy for the moment, but I might change that after I've inputted everything and I'll explain why. So our back stake was £10 on Sky, that was our max. It was 2.5 odds. The commission on Sky was 0 because we don't have commission on bookies, so don't worry about that. The late odds were 2.12, let's go with that because they were changing a bit. Lay commission 0% because we signed up with code COM3. And it gives our lay stake. So whatever happens, we can lock in £1.79 in guaranteed profit. So whether that horse wins or loses, then we're going to make that profit. Now, what we normally recommend for boosts is actually changing our strategy to underlaying. So if I change it there to underlay, you can see our profit changes. So if the back bet wins, we make £3.80. If it doesn't, we literally just break even. And The profit long term is going to be pretty similar between standard laying and underlaying. If not, it should be more or less the same if you include all the variants and you do it for a long enough time. But I just find the underlaying boost makes things a bit more interesting. Each their own really. You can choose to standard lay it, but we normally recommend to underlay it. So I'm going to underlay this, and underlaying also makes things a bit easier because the lay stake is just going to be the same as your back stake as long as you've got 0% commissions on your exchange. So our required lay stake is £10. So that's just what I'm going to go with. I'm going to back £10 on Sky and lay £10 on Smarkets. It's really easy. And as I said, if the horse wins, that's £3.80 profit. As I said before, it might have been more profit if I waited for the lay to drop, because the bigger the difference between the back and the lay odds, the more profit we can make. So the back is staying at 2.5. If the lay is dropping lower, that's just going to be more profit. So I could have waited closer for the race, but for the example, I'm just going to put it on now. So we've placed that on Sky Bet, £10 on John Bond to win, and we're now going to head to Smarkets, and we're now on the race on Smarkets, and the price is 2.12, and I'm just going to put £10 on that, place trade, confirm trade. We can check the liability if we want that it matches the calculator. That's always a good idea. So our liability is £11.20. I'm happy with that, so confirm trade, and as you can see, it's been fully matched. That's literally all it is with price boosts. It's really simple. You just see two things. You see the back odds, the lay odds, and you just put it on. With Matchwise Premium, it makes it so much easier because you don't have to find them yourself. They're all already found for you. So you've just got to look at it and put it on. It shouldn't really take any time at all. We do also have a channel for Arbs as well, but again, just be careful with Arbs. You want to keep your accounts alive for as long as possible, and if you manage them carefully, you can keep them unrestricted for a very long time, if not indefinitely really. But it does depend on the bookie, because some bookies do gub very quickly. Gub just means restrict, but other ones like the big four, 365, Sky Bet, Paddy Power, William Hill, if you are careful, I'd really try and manage those as best as you can, because you can sort of extend the lifespan for very long. I've had accounts that have lasted for 3 years since I started matched betting, so it can be done. So yeah, that was price boost. The key points were anytime the back odds have been boosted higher than the late odds, we can make profit with matched betting. Whether you choose to standard lay that and lock in guaranteed profit or underlay that is up to you. We recommend underlaying, and being in a group or a service doesn't have to be mine. It's going to be really important to help you find these offers, especially price boost. There's so many of them every day, so being in a group is going to save you so much time and ultimately make you more profit. So the Matchwise Premium is probably the cheapest and the best option out there for you, in my opinion, obviously. But if you are interested, then check it out. I'll put some links below. But yeah, if you think I've missed anything or if you have any questions, then make sure to shout me. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.